Well, good morning and welcome to Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. My name is Sean for anyone that has just happened to stumble across this. And this is just a live that I do every Saturday morning, well, most Saturday mornings. And I have brought along a special guest, which I like to do every week wherever possible. And it is Monica from Mona Did What. I've been following her channel for a while now, and I am super excited to finally have her on the channel. And we're going to do some ruler work today. We're both fairly new to it, so we are not experts. We are not going to show you how to make a show-winning quilt. Well, maybe we will, but don't count on it. But we're just going to have a lot of fun, maybe make some mistakes. We may have to pull out our friend who we're not going to name and that sort of thing there. But why don't you say hi to everybody, Monica, and just to let us know a bit about yourself, what you do, and a little bit more about your channel.
Good morning. I mostly just sew all the time. I'm new to quilt making. I started almost 2 years ago on my brother's quilt. My first quilt was a denim quilt for him, which was a real pain, but he loves it. And that's what got me started on quilting. But I do love to make bags. I make a lot of bags. So I found a way to incorporate quilting into bag making now. Instead of just using fabric, I'm using quilting everything to make the bags. So it's even more fun.
It is for sure. I mean, I've seen some quilted bags and some of them look absolutely stunning. And I think there's even some people out there now. I think Chris from Sewed at Distance is actually turning some old quilts that, are starting to fall apart and that sort of thing there into bags. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's wonderful that you're able to do that sort of thing there. I've made a few bags. It's not something that I'm very experienced at, but yeah, I admire those that can go out there and do make those bags. I think Fallon makes some bags as well. There's probably others out there that I can't remember, but there are those as well. So let's just say good morning to everybody, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world, because I know we have at least one lady here from Australia. Pam from the Empty Nest Quilter is here. Good evening. It's always good to see her. She's from Queensland, and she's just getting started into the embroidery world, and she's having a lot of fun playing with her new machine. So definitely go over and check her videos out if you haven't seen those already. Janice from The Right Way is here. She is a lovely lady, and we're going to get her on the channel as soon as we physically can. She's just the loveliest lady, has the best accent. I know I say that every week, but I truly, truly mean it. Orca Quilter Georgia says, good morning, Sean and Mona. We'll be listening as I free motion quilt. So we'll be kind of sewing along together with her as well. So that's awesome. Good morning to Melody. Good morning, Miss Kim. And Diana's here. Good morning. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll go ahead and get started. And we figured we'll just play with some ruler work and just see what happens. So what did you bring along today, Monica, is Mona or Monica what you prefer to be called?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
I took your suggestion and brought squares for bowl cozies.
Yeah, the idea that we talked about was if we when you start free motion quilting, I've always suggested doing something small, so that way you're not having to tackle a huge big quilt, get, a third of the way through it and go, what am I going to do? So what I did, and I showed this on the podcast last week, is I just got a, 10-inch square, like Monica said, and just did some basic, quilting, nothing crazy, nothing too detailed. And I figure I'll do it the same on the other side, or something, different pattern, and then we'll turn it into a bowl cozy. Because when you make a bowl cozy, you normally go ahead and just put an X through here. And I figured if you do a little bit more, but you don't go nuts, it's a good way to practice and then turn it into something functional. So we thought that would be a good way to practice and have some fun. And then I also brought along 2 of these. Oops, I'm doing it the Australian way. We're doing upside down, down under. And I think I might just, play with some of the different rulers on each of the blocks and just have some fun with that as well. I brought 2 of those. So that'll keep me entertained for quite some time. So, well, good morning, Amy. It's good to see you. Okay, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and see how we go. So just show us your progress as we go along a little bit, Monica. And I will show what I get up to. Janet says, hi, Sean. Sorry, I'll watch later. She's watching the coronation. Yes. King Charles III got coronated this morning. So yeah, a lot of us in the Commonwealth are, paying close attention to that. I'll catch up with that mess later on. So Pam says, thanks, Sean. At least I could see it the right way up. I love Pam. She is the loveliest lady. So I brought along a wide variety of rulers. This is my Ninja Star, and I'm going to do something with it. We'll figure it out. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good to see you. And then I brought a little rectangle one and this curve one. And then this is the one that I used for the purple thing I showed you earlier with the circles. And then some ribbon candy. And then this one you've seen before, I think, in a previous video where I was doing the breast cancer ribbon. I was using the scalloped edges as well. So I don't know what I'm really going to do. I'm just going to kind of just play and just see what happens. All right. So let's talk about your channel for a little bit, Monica. I'm very excited because I've seen you, I saw you start your channel and I saw where you were, and you've just been steadily growing. And she is this close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't checked out her channel yet, when you get a chance, duck over there. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing, hit the like button on her videos, leave her comments. She is a lovely lady. She will love to hear from me, just like I do. And if we can get her a little bit closer to that 1,000 mark, it'll be great, because once she hits 1,000 and she has a 4,000 hours watch time, which I'm assuming she's close to with all the lives that she does, she can apply to be part of the YouTube Partner Program, which gives her a little bit of money. She's not going to be rich, because I'm certainly not. But, once you hit that mark, the ad revenue will go to, part of the ad revenue will go to her, and it gives her a little bit of fabric money. So if we can get her a little closer to that, that would be awesome as well. Let's see, I'm missing all sorts of stuff here. Okay, my coffee hasn't kicked in yet, and I've had 2 cups. Okay, so Russ from Quilt Meets World is here. Good morning. It's always good to see you. Laura Veach says, I live near Louisville, Kentucky. Today it's Derby Day. Okay, Louisville is a very busy place that I can imagine. Yes, at a Kentucky Derby. The king chose Derby Day to get coronated? That's weird. Okay, anyway, moving on. Diane says she has a great sense of humor. And Pam says that to Russ that he loves his videos. Yeah, Russ has a wonderful channel as well. If you haven't seen his stuff, please go check his videos out. I've been a huge fan of his since the very beginning. So you're using a ruler foot, correct, of yours?
Yeah, ruler foot and this one ruler I'm going to try. And if it doesn't go good, I'm switching to my Echo foot.
Hey, you do, yeah. It really does take getting a bit of used to. So it took me a long time. I actually got better. Surprisingly enough, I went from like really, really bad to somewhat decent on a live. So maybe it'll rub off on you as well. That'd be fun if it did. Okay, so I come to this thing prepared, but today I decided not to plug my foot in. So now we might be getting somewhere. Whoop. Okay. Designs by Christina Cunningham says, howdy from Maui, Kansas. Good morning. I've got a number of friends in Kansas, so it's good to have someone else. Okay, so do I use this Ninja Star? Yeah, why not? Okay, we'll turn the camera down just a smidge. All right, so Christina says she's off to the farmer's market. Okay, well, thank you for Hank, jumping in and saying hi. And, hopefully you can come back and watch the replay and see what we got up to. Farmers markets are always a lot of fun. Okay. This could be a spectacular failure, you never know. So you said you've been quilting about 2 years. What motivated you to start your own channel?
My daughter, I got a YouTube mostly when they were younger so I could spy on them, but I never put anything on there. I just put a video of the dogs. And then when I started making my brother's quilt and everything, my daughter says, you ought to start filming that and put that on there. And I says, nobody's going to watch it. I'm terrible. She says, well, this way, when you get old, you'll remember how to do it. So I said, okay. And just went
awesome.
for it.
Yeah, and you've done a wonderful job. I mean, you just get on there and you sew and you have a good time. I mean, you're not, You're not super serious. You just have a good time, which I
Yep,
think is awesome.
I just try and get better each week. Sometimes I am, sometimes no.
You and me both. I mean, that's always my goal, is just to get a little bit better each week. Every come on, Sean, use your words today. Every project I try and learn something from, even if I have to pull out a friend who shall not be named, like I want to learn something. So,
And a lot of people are intimidated by sewing and quilting. Oh, we can't do that because, they see a lot of people doing it perfect. Well, I show that you can make all kinds of mistakes and still come out with something that looks halfway decent or even nice. You might have to tear it apart a couple times, but it's all good. And you meet
yeah,
a lot of nice people on here.
oh, for sure. I mean, the community here is absolutely um, yeah, the people here are absolutely fantastic. I was not expecting that per se when I started, but yeah, the community here is just a unexpected bonus and blessing. And I just absolutely love that. I mean, my audience is so supportive. They just encourage me and give me all sorts of wonderful ideas. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I used the Ninja Star, and now I'm just echoing this just for, I really don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm just kind of playing. Yeah, I kind of started mine just to be more accountable, because I was watching watching videos with my wife. She watches a lot of knitting podcasts, and all these content creators were finishing projects. And I'm like, well, if they, finish projects, maybe I need a channel so I can finish something. And it's worked beautifully because it keeps me accountable. Because, when I do my podcast each week, I have to have something to show. I'm just not going to stand here and go, hey, hi, how are you? Yeah, it was fun. See you all later. April Sortel is here. Good morning. She says, hi, Sean. Hi, Mona from sunshiny Maine. Laura says she free motion quilts on semi-industrial machine. I'm struggling with ruler work. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that it'd be harder on an industrial machine, because I think, especially when you start, I would say, you need to go slow. And on some of those industrial machines, I think that's really, really hard to. Amy C brings up a very, very good point. She says, I noticed show winning quilts at QuiltCon whose quilting was less than perfect. It took a lot of fear of messing up on. And that is so true. And that's something I did want to talk about a little bit. I'm actually doing a presentation over at Stephen Bland's retreat shortly after this. And I'm talking about quilt shows and entering and that sort of thing there. And Amy is so right about that. Like, being perfect will absolutely help you get that blue ribbon. It will absolutely help you get that best in show. But you don't have to be perfect. Very few quilts are perfect. So, do the best you can. Try and make it as close to perfect as you can. But if there's a mistake or two in there, don't worry about it. You're probably the only one that's ever going to notice it. And maybe the quilt judge, but the quilting is only a small part of it. Like, I was looking last night when I was doing my research, for instance, and it depends on the show, but a lot of them, like the quilting, like let's say for the Kansas State Fair, is 20%. The piecing is 40. So I mean, yeah, if you make one or two small mistakes like that, you might get ding a point here and there, but it's nothing catastrophic. So that's just my 2 cents worth for that. Let me go back to where I was a second ago. Okay, my friend Nicole has hopped in from Davana Lee Design Studios. Nicole Reed. She has a wonderful channel. If you haven't checked hers out, definitely head over and talk, see what she's up to. She has such wonderful content, and she'll be joining me, I believe, sometime next month here on the channel as well. I'm super excited to have her along for the ride. So, all right, let me grab my Ninja Star. I am so distracted today. And I'm so thankful that everyone hasn't all run off and left me alone. So Laura Fuller Earth, an artist here, she says it's important to enjoy your craft, and absolutely, I say that all the time. Like you need to just have fun with it, and that's something that I know Monica does so well. She just really, really enjoys it because this is your craft time. I mean, unless you're doing this as your full-time job, you should just do what you love. All right, Gloria says, I love your pep talks. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Gloria is a wonderful lady from the, I'm going to get it wrong, but Central Virginia. We got to meet up briefly at the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival earlier this year, and her and her husband are just the most wonderful people. I loved hanging out with her for a little while. So one of these days, I'm going to have to hop up there and meet her and all her quilting friends at one of her quilting bees. I don't know when it's going to happen yet, but all right. Nicole says, I am looking forward to catching up with you next month. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I admire Nicole for actually saying yes to this, because when she comes on live with me, and Pam's going to be the same way, it's going to be 10 p.m. for them. So if I went on to a live at 10 p.m., you would not be getting very much action out of me. Because some of you folks are wonderful night owls, but I am not one of them. Now, with your ruler foot, Monica, does it have a non-slip foot on it? Like, does it have non-stick stuff on the back or no?
Yes.
It does. Okay. That makes it a lot easier. Yeah, these ones do not. So I'm going to have to run out and get there's some different products out there that some people have suggested to me. So that'll make my job a little easier. Okay, I know what I'm doing now.
Better.
All right, Pam says, yes, next month, looking forward to it, but do not be nervous. It's just, you're just going to hang out with a friend. You and I have talked on Zoom before, and we'll just do the same thing. A lot of my guests, the first time, my live with them was the first time they've been live, and they've all done wonderfully. So, and what is your favorite quilt that you've made in the past, Monica?
The first one I ever made with actual pattern. I actually followed the pattern and made it, and I gave that to my uncle for Christmas. I got the most response from my brother for his quilt, but I didn't care for it at all.
I know it's funny sometimes that the people that receive it enjoy is not necessarily our favorites, but that's okay, because the recipient is the important part a lot of the time. All right. I'm just having fun with this. I am not going to win the awards. Not with this mess, but that's okay. I don't plan on entering this fall cozy into the state fair, so it's okay. So where'd I put my scissors? Over here. Okay, Pam says she's going to attempt a live tomorrow. So if you're around and you're up, because I don't know what time she's planning on doing it, head over and support her, because it's so scary going live for the first time, especially by yourself. Okay, so I don't know if you can see or not, but I did do like the basic outline of my ninja star.
Oh, that looks nice. I'm still working on tension issues.
See, and that's where I've been so blessed. I really haven't had to struggle with tension with any of my sewing machines. I just started up and away it goes.
Well, that's usually the way this one is, but something is not right here.
All right, so 2 p.m. Queensland time. So that would be midnight Eastern. So yeah, you might catch some of the night owls. So yeah, if you're around, definitely head over and check that out. I think it's exclamation point Pam. Let me check. For her channel link. We'll see if that works. Laura says, as makers, we know exactly where our mistakes are, but when we give our projects to people, they see it complete and beautiful. Absolutely. I mean, I was chatting with someone yesterday in our Discord group, and she showed us a beautiful panel with a cow. And she said, you know, the ear's off and I'm going to have to rip it out and redo it. And I was like, no, leave it, you know, like the ears don't have to match. Like what cow's ear in real life is ever perfect? You know, they're not symmetrical. And I said, the only one that's ever going to notice is yourself and the pattern maker. And I said, unless she happens to be the judge at the show you're going to, I think you'll be all right.
Right.
Pam said she could do it later. I think that's a good time, Pam. I mean, because there's a lot of people that stay up late on a Saturday night here in the US and Canada and would like someone to listen to. So yeah, I think 2 p.m. for you would catch both the Aussie market and most of the US, because I mean, it's midnight here, but you know, it's only like 9 p.m. on the West Coast. I mean, you might catch some of my West Coast buddies. Sadly, I won't be up to see it. It's a little too late for me. Well, actually, usually about that time of night, I'm still working on my own podcast. Seeing as a hot mess. But, you know, we keep it real here. So what in goodness names have I done here? Okay. Okay, most of my friends are on around this time or a bit earlier. Yeah, just play with your times and just see what works. But I found that it does take a while for people to get used to when you go live. Because I mean, when I started doing this, I had like 20, 25 people show up, and now we have anywhere between 30 and 70, depending on the day. Right now, we're looking at around 33. It's a little low, but I expected that because I think a lot of my buddies are over hanging out with Stephen over at his quilt retreat. All right, let's see what else is going on. All right. Janice says, I rarely redo mistakes. I think they add character. Yes, I totally agree. I'm really at the point in my life where unless it's really, really going to bother me and it's worth redoing, like the time it takes to redo it, I just leave it. Because half the time I'm the only one that's ever going to notice.
I finally got a good stitch.
Yep. Well, I remember I put together my So Sweet puzzle mystery quilt last year, and some of the blocks were turned sideways, and I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, so it doesn't match the pattern, but it doesn't look bad. Like, unless, you know, the pattern maker comes across and takes a look at it, no one will ever notice. And it would have taken me hours to pull it apart. So I just left it. And 6 months later, now that I look at it, I couldn't even tell you where those, you know, where those things were. I forget who it is, but I know someone calls them happy accidents.
Yeah, I call them a design element.
Design element. Hey, that works too.
Now, some are so bad, I have to sit there and rip out because, you know, it's not going to go together. But if it's something minor,
Yeah.
I leave it, or I come up with a fix to fix it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, you've got to sit there and think to yourself, is it worth the time to redo it? Um, if so, you do, and then if not, just let it go. You know, um, like I did an entire panel sideways on that Sombra quilt that I did late last year. And then I looked at it and I was like, that's going to take me a long time to fix. But the colors are so similar, and like you can't really tell on it. So again, I just left it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So I think I'm just going to go around this one more time, echo it, and then I'm going to move on to one of my tulips.
no, I'm gonna grab a new one instead of taking it apart.
Yeah. Good morning, Brenda. It is good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Laura says she's working hard on our channel at the moment, having good momentum on what days, etc. Yes, I can live with happy mistakes. Don't you love the English language when you don't know if it's live or live? Yeah, there's all those words where you just don't know how to pronounce it. My exchange student was talking about it the other day. She's like, Macedonian, like each letter is pronounced one way or one way only, whereas in English, you have live and live, and then all those other ones where it's where it's the same word or same set of letters and they mean different. You pronounce them differently depending on what word it is. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Thank goodness. All right. Janice says she made a mistake on a quilt once and loved it so much so it changed the other blocks. A happy accident. Yeah, and that's something that happens as well sometimes. You make that goof and then it actually ends up being better than what you originally had intended. So I think this has turned out halfway decent. All right. So what sort of quilts do you like to make? Are you more a modern quilter, a traditional quilter? You just kind of make stuff up as you go along? Do you follow patterns?
I've only made one, well, two with a pattern now. I made the crinkle, well, three. I did, my first FPP was the elephant.
Uh-huh.
I did that.
Is that the one that Donna and that did? I think it's like the violet.
Yes, Violet Crafts. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but halfway through the elephant, once I got knowing what I was doing, then it was fun.
Oh,
But
okay.
the first part was, oh, it was frustrating. But I really enjoy that. And then I did the 3-yard quilt from fabric. It was in a book. It was one of the ones Donna did. Then the crinkle cut. And I like making up my own.
The crinkle cut, the one that's there in the background with all the blues.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The one behind me is a grandmother's garden. I didn't make that one.
Okay.
A lady's mother up the street made it and they were selling it. So I bought it. Or my mom bought it for me for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crinkle cut's something that I think Donna and Tucker did recently.
Yes. I was on
And
their show sewing.
yeah. And I think I've cut out the stuff for that. Me and my sister are going to make that as a little sewing project between the two of us fairly soon, I think. We just got to sit there and organize a date and time. I don't think we'll broadcast it on YouTube. I think that's just to be a brother-sister project, but she's got to make it like a smaller version, which will be like 25 by 25 as I'll call it by its Australian name, like a pram blanket or like a blanket for the stroller.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she's already picked out the fabric. She's cut everything out. We just need to sit down together one day, and probably should do it soon before my niece actually, gets out of the stroller. All right, Laura Veach says, my embroidery machine jammed and left a mess on a project, popping some buttons on it to cover the mess. Is that did you post about that on Facebook yesterday, Laura? Is that the one I was replying to, or was that someone else? Because whoever it was mentioning they were going to have to hand stitch the buttons on them. Like, oh, no, you have to do all that mess. Like, I machine stitch all my buttons. I mean, I'm careful when I do it, but yeah, if I can get away with not hand stitching anything, I'm a happy man.
Oh, I like hand stitching.
Once I learn how to do it, I think I'll enjoy it. But I don't know what I'm doing. So, all right. So this is what I decided to do. It's just basically a ninja star twice. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
Oh, that looks nice.
yeah, it's just something simple. And I will put that together with
I'm going back.
this side. I'll just put them together and it'll make a nice bowl cozy, hopefully. Okay, Laura said it was her. Okay, so I thought it was, but I wasn't going to testify to it. Good morning. Kathy says, good morning, all. I'm making blocks larger now and then squaring smaller. Okay, awesome. That is great. Okay. Oh, Brenda says she just finished keto waffles and sausage. Awoke angry this morning. Okay, well, hopefully you get some food quick because you do not want to be hangry. Kathy says she loves the fabric. The this one here, it's a beautiful fabric. I think we bought it from Hobby Lobby like 10 years ago. I think, I don't remember.
Okay.
Came from somewhere. I think I maybe made some pillowcase dresses or for my niece or something like that with it. All right, so now that I've finished that, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pull out one of my tulip blocks, which was part of a block swap that I did with Quilts on Tour. And I figured these would be perfect for free motion practice. Okay, Laura says she chose my favorite color, purple. Yes, that is my wife's favorite color, and it tends to be a favorite color of many, many people, from what I understand. So Laura says that's a beauty. You can cover things up here. Yeah, I need to cover something up on one of my quilts. My sister made me a temperature quilt a few years ago, and one day Finley's decided she needed to soothe herself by chewing my blanket. So now I've got like 2 or 3 little holes about this big. So I've got to cover it up with something. All right, so let's see what we can get up to now. The green part looks like an arrow. It's a tulip. It does look like a bit like an arrow when you look at it. But this is the whole block right here. I think it's about 16 by 9. And I didn't have enough of them to make a full quilt or anything like that. So I just figured since I'm doing ruler work and some practice, I can always just zip these up and then I can always practice binding, maybe make some small wall hangings with them, that sort of thing there. Applique would work well is what Pam said, and that's what I'm leaning towards actually. So thank you for that suggestion. I like that a lot. Brenda says her hubby has become fond of purple in his quilts. That's not neat to hear because I actually feel that like pink, my favorite color is red. But when it comes to quilting, I really do gravitate a lot towards the pinks, the purples, and that sort of thing there as well. So it's good to know that I'm not alone on that. So let's go ahead. We'll drop the camera again. Hopefully we won't make anybody nauseous. I think what I'll do is I just use this little arc on this block. At this point, I'm just practicing, experimenting, and just showing everybody what you can do. it might not be very well, but geez, that's a hot mess.
Yeah, so is this one. But I took off my ruler foot. I don't know why. It's just not working, but I'm using my ruler with my Echo for a straight line and it's working pretty good.
Okay. And sometimes you just need to do your own thing, you know, like, but at the end of the day, I feel like these tools are here for to help benefit you. But if it's making your job harder, use what works for you. If that makes sense. Okay. Can make you some embroidered applique in due course, so that'd be fun too. Yeah, I'm just going to do some applique. But what I think I might do with it, actually, now that I've been thinking about it for several months, is I may just go ahead and figure out what the weather was that day, and do like a little cloud or a little little sun or a little raindrop, depending on what the weather was that day. So I think that might be kind of fun. All right, so we've got this going along all right. I'll be working on stump work on my next quilt when I'm better, which is raised embroidery using wire and an overcast stitch. Well, that'll be interesting. I've never heard of that. So I'll definitely have to come over and check out your videos once you figure that all out, so I can learn something new. All right. Okay, let's bear with me a moment. I'm so disorganized today, it's not funny. So what is everybody else working on this weekend? Like, are you guys working on a quilt? Are you doing piecing? I'd love to hear what you guys are working on this weekend as well, because you always get to see what I'm up to. All right, Laurie's asking, do you stabilize the ruler you are using? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like, do I have something that's on the back to keep it from slipping? Is that what you mean? Because these ones don't at the moment. They are just plastic or acrylic or whatever you want to call it. But I do have some that have the non-slip surface and they work really, really well. But there are products out there where you can get like little dots or actually full sheets where you can put it on the back of the rulers to make them to stop slipping as much if you don't have it. And that's something I have to go to the quilt shop at some point. Okay, perfect. Laurie says yes. So yeah, I do plan on getting some stuff for the back of these because I didn't realize.
These work good. They're Arteza non-slip adhesive rings.
Okay.
You get 24 of them, and 24 small and 24 large.
Yeah, I think that was one of the products someone suggested to me. And the Arteza, I actually use their rotary blades.
Oh yeah, are they good?
Yes, they are cheap. You can buy like a 12 pack for about $10 to $12 on Amazon, and they last just as long as the high dollar ones, if not longer.
Oh well, that's good.
I think it's the RT, but let me see. I don't want to tell you lies. Yeah, Arteza. And they come in a little package. Yeah, obviously that they have the retail packaging as well, but they come in a little thing like this. And yeah,
I like the little plastic cases instead of just in the cardboard because you got somewhere to store them.
yeah, I mean, I just keep it in with my clips. So that way, when my blade gets dull, I can just reach in here and grab it and put a new blade in. But yeah, I bought them once just to see how they would do because the Fiskars ones and stuff are just dreadfully expensive. And I thought, well, if I try this and they last half as long, I'm still, I'm still breaking even. And they have worked like a charm. I love those things immensely. And that's pretty much all I use now. So yeah, if you're ever looking for some cheap rotary cutting blades, that's what we're calling them today since I can't speak. I recommend the Arteza ones. I think they work really, really well, and they are a lot cheaper than some of the other stuff out there on the market.
Now that I got my tension figured, I can put it on my machine.
We keep it real here. It is not, if you're looking for something where everything's perfect, this is not the place for you. That's a fun camera angle.
Yeah, well, it's the best I could get because I can't turn my tripod because it's jammed in between the tables. So it doesn't fall over because I've knocked it over so many times.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to break so it's just kind of the way it goes. It's
Yep.
actually for my mat. I have one camera for my mat, one for the machine. But the one from the machine, I'm constantly hitting with my arm, and then it'll be like,
Yeah. And see, I'm just a one camera show.
well, these I control with my phone. I just click on it. I don't have to hook them up to nothing.
Oh, that's good.
When I first started on YouTube, I did everything on my phone.
I still do.
And even my tutorials and stuff, I would film it, stop, take the camera, move it over, do another shot.
Yeah, I still just use my phone. I really have no intentions of changing it anytime soon because it's kind of nice just having everything on one thing. Like I can record, I can edit, I can post.
Now I edit on my phone because that's the only thing I know how to do.
Right. Well, I
Oops.
think the editing programs on the phone work just as well as some of the stuff that costs a lot more.
Yeah, and it's free. I use iMovie.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I ended up paying for a program that's called UCut, but the full program was like $12. I mean, it was not
Oh,
expensive.
well, I can't beat that.
No, and I mean for what I paid for it, it has some pretty cool yeah, features and that sort of thing there. So my wife uses the same program for her channel.
Yeah, she has a nice channel.
She does. She has a lot of fun with it. For anyone that doesn't know, she has a knitting channel. So she talks about her knitting and that sort of thing there because she doesn't sew. She's a avid knitter. She knits mostly socks and shawls. She's working on a sweater, and I am super proud of this. She has won 3 ribbons already at the state fair. She won second place in 2021 for her socks. And then last year, she got first place for her socks, first place for a shawl, and best in section. So
Wow, that's great.
basically best in show for knitting. So yeah, I am super proud of that. This it's highly unlikely I will ever get best in show because
I
there are
wouldn't
just
say that.
I mean, it might happen, but there are such talented people here in Virginia in the quilting world that the chances of me beating them out is, it may happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I wouldn't count on it happening anytime soon. All right. Good morning, Heather. She is the debt-free quilter. She has her own channel as well. She says she films everything on her phone. She doesn't have the budget for more equipment. And that's how I am too. I mean, I'd rather spend my money on fabric, and my viewers tend to like what I do. And I figure if it works, why change it?
I liked filming on my 11. It did good, but I'm not crazy about the new, whatever the next one was. I wished I would have just kept my 11.
Right.
But I gave that to my mom.
Okay. Okay. Can you leave the link for your wife's channel, Sean? Well done to her. Yeah, let me just grab it real quick. I don't know if I have a command for that or not. I should. All right, bear with me a second. All right, let's go back and we will put, all right, so anyone that's knitter, definitely go over and check out her channel. I'll just put the link in the description below. I'm pretty sure Heather is !Heather as well. If you haven't done that, she says the sickie was up at 4 a.m. but went back to sleep, so we'll see how the day goes after she wakes up. Joanna Jennings says, I have a few things that I'm working on. One I can steel time, patchwork, quilted heart pockets, keychains, kitchen scarves, a couple of trinket bowls, and getting ready to start a quilt. Wow, you sound busy. I love seeing that, you know, that some people can actually get stuff done. I always feel like there's just never enough hours in the day. Okay, so apparently Heather's kids are not ill, and it seems to be going around right now. And I like one of my co-workers, he has a young daughter, and she's been ill quite a lot recently too. So I hope they all get better soon. Oh, okay. Guess we'll have to change that as well. All right.
Yeah, I haven't learned to go backwards. Only forward.
Yep. All right, so let's see what else we have going on here. All right, good morning to Martha. She says she's very late getting to the live. That's okay. You know, sometimes it's good to sleep in. Heather, the bot is, I have a list of naughty words on there, and it's a little sensitive, so I can go ahead and fix that later on. So we'll fix that. What she said was not really bad, so don't worry about that. We still love you, and I don't think it's a bad thing at all. She was just saying that her kids were, she had a lot of mess to clean, you know, a lot of mess to clean up yesterday. But that's sometimes the joys of being a parent.
No matter how old they get, they still want you when they're sick too.
Yep. Yeah, so Martha has her own channel as well. It is !Martha. And if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely go out and check her stuff out. She's been doing a lot of fun stuff with the Cotton Cuts gnomes recently. So if you haven't seen what she's been doing with that, definitely go over and say hi to her. She'll love to hear from you. And do you have anything coming up on your channel soon, Monica, that you'd like to tell us about?
Next week, I'm starting to sew along.
Oh, nice.
If anybody wants to join. I got this kit from My Fabric Addiction 1 on Etsy.
Okay.
It's for a patriotic table runner.
Oh, nice.
And it's, you know, red, white, and blue. And it comes with everything. It comes with the backing, all this fabric you need, plus the binding and the pattern. And I think it was $24 and I think $5 for shipping.
Okay.
And so I'm going to try and make that. I've never done anything on here. So
Oh, that looks like fun.
It looks difficult for me, but it'll be a nice challenge.
I mean, I'm just looking at it right now, and I think it's one of those things that like it looks challenging, but I think it's like the same block over and over again. So once you get the first block, you know, one or two blocks in, it'll just be like rinse and repeat. And by the end of it, you know, you'll be a champ. So
I'm not going to do a tutorial. I'm just going to, you know, show me working on it because I can't see doing a tutorial when I don't know what I'm doing. So
No, and I think sometimes it's good just to show what you're doing, just give people inspiration
yeah.
and that sort of thing there as well.
But if anybody wants to sew along, I'm going to do it off of YouTube on a Zoom. If once I figure out what I'm doing, if anybody needs help, then or if I need help, I'll say, come into my Zoom so I can get some help.
That works. Yeah, and the $24 plus 5 shipping is not bad, especially since they're including the backing. I mean, usually you pay that much, if not more, and then the backing you're on your own.
Yes. And that's where I get all my scrap packs from.
Okay.
You get a pound of strips, and there's usually between 42 and 45 of them for $10.
Oh, there
And
you
that
go.
way you get all different kinds of fabrics. And because all my fabric's vintage, except for some of the stuff I just bought. So it gives me, a taste of the fabrics out there without spending a fortune.
Yeah. I was speaking to someone else about that earlier this week. They said they got the like the same sort of thing from Cotton Cuts. And it's a good way, like you said, to try different fabrics. And you can do a lot with it. You can like jelly roll races, or you could even do like that one that's in the background again, whose name I forget. All sorts of fun things for
I have I forget what it's called with the strips, but I bought that with a jelly roll. Oh, Bargello. I have one of those over there. I have a log cabin to quilt, but my next one is my Ohio Star quilt that I made. All the red fabric is from my grandmother's. It's all vintage fabric that I made. I did buy the new white for it.
Right.
So I sewed them in rows. I'm going to quilt the rows and then sew them to quilt as you go.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Because it's hard wrangling a big quilt.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of times I like working on smaller stuff. That's why I like when I'm doing this, I'm just practicing on the smaller stuff. And then just to show what I've done over the last 10 or 15 minutes, I just kind of just did arcs. I started off with this for anyone that walked in late, and then just echo it from there on in. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, I'm just playing. I'm just pulling out different rulers, and we're just playing with it and just seeing what happens.
Right now, I'm just playing with my echo foot because I could not get the other foot down.
It happens. All right, so I think this time I'm going to use my ribbon candy one. Also, we'll see how this goes.
That noise is my dog snoring. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm surprised you're not hearing Copper snoring, so. All right, let's see how well we do at this. Okay. All right, so Orca Quilted GA says, grandkids are on the way. We'll watch a replay. Have a good day. Thank you for joining us. It was always good to have you here. Laura says, beautiful flower pattern there again. Yes, this is still part of the block swap that I did, which was nice. Oh, this is not going to work well. Let's try it this way. This thing's slipping and sliding all over the place. Yeah, I need to run out to the store and get something to put underneath these. All right. Sorry, I don't mean to be so quiet.
This is what I've gotten done. I've just been playing around.
That looks good. I mean, I think you're doing a great job with that.
Now, I won't give this away as a bowl cozy, but I'll use it because I'm sloppy. I spill all kinds of stuff.
Well, I think of the bowl cozy too, like once you're done with this and you put the darts in and that sort of thing there, it's going to hide a lot of the imperfections anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. I meant to ask you too, what do you think your plans are for your channel, like going forward? Are you looking to do more with it? Are you happy with where you're at? Like, do you have any grand plans for it?
I plan on doing a lot more, but it depends on how fast I learn.
Right.
You know, it's going to be a mix of bags because I like doing bags, and, you know, actual quilts too, because I'm really enjoying making quilts. So,
Well, good.
and it's just going to go up my skill as it gets better. Then, you know, the stuff will get harder. And I bought a bunch of EPP pattern, or no, FPP patterns. I do have EPP, but I'm not going to do that on here because that's all hand sewing.
Right.
But I am going to do that. I bought a pattern for a Shih Tzu that I'm going to make. And I'm going to make it look like my grandfather's dog that passed.
Right. Well, that
And
sounds like,
go ahead.
I was just saying it. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, these are smaller blocks. I think they're like 6-inch. Well, the Shih Tzu's not. It's a regular, I think 10 or 12-inch block. But all the other ones are little 6-inch blocks. And I thought that would be cute to incorporate the FPP like on a bag or into a quilt. There's one that's beavers. And you can blow up the blocks and make them bigger. And I thought, well, that'd be cute to put some leaves and a beaver on, and one's a deer. I like all the animals basically,
Right.
but I don't want another giant elephant around, or, you know, because I didn't realize that was so big,
Right.
you know, so. And I plan on doing a lot more with, you know, just stuff I come up with, because that's fun to me, just sitting down and sewing, not having a plan and just going for it.
Yeah. I think it's good to show folks that, you know, not everything has to be, you don't have to be perfect to start.
Yes.
So just like Martha's saying here, that it's a journey, and embrace. Oh, that's sorry, it's Laura saying that's a journey and embrace it. I'm surprised the bots aren't going red alert with the name of the dog. No, I guess it's not on the list of naughty words.
I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, or it might be Shih Tzu, but it always comes out the other way on accident.
That's the bot's more interested in what's being typed. I think I don't think it really worries too much about that part of it. So, all
Yeah,
right. So
oh, go ahead.
sorry. I am noticing this ruler is slipping around like nobody's business. So I really, really do need to get some of those little.
Yeah, this one came with strips already on it. This Quilter's Creative Grids.
Yeah, and that's how this one is. The Quilter's Rule. It has the sticky stuff on the non-slip stuff on the back.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, these ones did not. They were cheaper. And so I figure, yeah, I'll go ahead and get some of those little dots and put them on there, and that'll fix the problem, and it'll still be cheaper than some of the other rulers I've seen out there. So yeah, it's just you live and learn. I didn't realize it made that big a difference, but it does. So I love these rulers and I'd recommend them, but yeah, if you do get them, I would highly, highly recommend that you go out and get some stuff to stop it from slipping all over the place.
I just really love this Echo foot.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
got like lines in it too, where you can line it up where you're going. It's
oh,
kind of
nice.
like a bullseye.
Well, that's awesome. And yeah, it's always good when you get a tool that you absolutely love and it helps you out, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what it's meant to do. So,
I mean, I will keep practicing with the ruler foot,
right.
but when all else fails, I'm going to get out this one.
And at the end of the day, like, not every tool is going to work for you. So, I mean, if you try to rule a foot and it's not, all the rulers and it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. Go do what does work.
And the ruler's big enough to the, because it's got like a plastic disc that goes way out around the needle. I don't think there's any way it could slip under there. I'm sure there is, but
Right. Yeah, this looks like a hot mess. That's okay. I'll show you all in a minute. Just how well it looks or not. My Martha says to me, we all have gifts, and be able to share our gifts we've been given is a beautiful thing. And I absolutely agree with that. I think it's really neat that we are able to, that I'm able to get on here and meet all you wonderful people and just share what I'm able to do. I do not have all the answers. I am not an expert in a lot of things, but I just have fun, and I'm so glad that you'll decide to come in and hang out with me for a little while.
yeah, because there's not one single person in my family that sews. My mom can't even sew on a button. The only one that was creative was my grandmother, but she's been gone a long time. So this was another way for me to sew with other people and
Right.
not have to, at the time, COVID, you couldn't go anywhere. And I'm not one to go sit in a room and sew with strangers because I clam up and don't say a word, and then people think I'm stuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a shyness thing.
Oh, it is. I'm the same way. I am very, very much the same way. So you're singing to the choir there. All right. So yeah, no, it's nice. It really is. And I'm not going to go out necessarily to a new place and that sort of thing either. So I definitely get what you're saying there. All right, let's see. Cut all these strings out that. Okay. So I have discovered that until I get something to go on the back of this wonderful ribbon ruler, I'm not using it again because it just slips way, way too much. Where did my scissors go? Right here. When it works properly, it's a beautiful ruler, and I think it's going to make a really, really nice effect. But part of it is me not being, that skilled in this area. But you
Oh,
can
that
see how
looks good.
yeah, I mean, it looks good. But you can see there's like gaps here and here, and it's supposed to be all together. So I think once we get to not, because every time I moved it, it was slipping. So I think once I get something that helps it not
Yeah, that
skip
looks
around.
amazing to me.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, so we'll just try something else. Might actually go back to this one, which has the non-slip stuff on it, and we'll give that a whirl and see what happens. Laura says, yes, we can be very good at hiding our feelings. Yes. I feel very comfortable around everybody here because, we all have similar interests and that sort of thing there. I think that helps out immensely. Martha says, I think it looks great. Yes, I am happy with it. But I just think it will look immensely better once. Can you all see what I'm doing? Yeah, I think so. Once I get the non-slip part on there.
Well, mine look like chopped off fingers.
Yeah, but and that's how I feel about that. Like I think we're all our own worst critics too. Good morning, Jazzy Joyce. It is good that you have joined us. I'm glad that you made it. We are. I have Monica here with me, and we are just hanging out and just practicing our free motion quilting. I'm using my rulers, and she is doing a little bit of everything. We figure we're both newbies at this, and we figured, why not come on and have a bit of fun and just see what we can get up to. Because we've all got to start somewhere. Come here, you. Oh yeah, this works immensely better with the sticky stuff on the back. Yeah, so that's my advice is if you ever go out and buy rulers, see if they have the non-slip stuff on the back. And if they don't, go out and get something that allows you to put sticky stuff on the, like the dots or whatever it is, because it makes the absolute world of difference. Oh, good morning, Chloe. It's good to see you. I do have your coffee mug. All right. So Jazzy Joyce says her next project is free motion quilting. And yeah, that's me too. I mean, I've been a stitch in the ditch guy for way too long. It's time for me to branch out and try something, a little more advanced. Well, this is looking nice. I almost look like a professional doing this. Well, I'm really, really pleased with this. Okay, awesome. Okay, so, oh, come here, you. Okay. I find the rulers are a good way to kind of get your feet wet, kind of like training wheels. All right. Laura says you're better than what you give yourself credit for, Sean. Well, thank you. I am pleased. Don't get me wrong. I am very pleased with what I've been able to achieve. But I am a perfectionist at heart. Even though I do say that, like it doesn't have to be perfect. I just like to get there as close as I can to it. And I just think, I love these. I love these ones to bits. I think they're wonderful rulers. It's just hard to quilt with these because they just slide around so much. So once I get the sticky stuff, the non-slip stuff on the back, I think they're going to be wonderful rulers and I'll be able to use them again. But I think until that point, I think they're just going to have to sit to the sidelines because they're not really doing what I would like them to do. But,
Yeah.
I'm living and learning from that. So
I'm going to get me some new rulers now. You've inspired me.
good.
Well, not a bunch, maybe one more. I'd
Sorry?
like a curved one. So I might just get, because I got the straight one, so I might get a little curved one.
Yeah, this one's a lot of, I'm really, really liking this one. The more I play of it, the more I like it because it just gives you this really nice curved effect. It's like almost like a wishbone or.
Oh, okay. And I like that echo you did with the circle.
With this one, yeah.
Yes. I like that.
This one was super fun too. Like the guy I was talking to, like him and his wife own this company that make these, and he's like, "You should get this one." I'm like, "What am I going to do with a snowman?" I honestly looked at him. I said, "Okay, what am I supposed to do with this?" And he's like, "You can do like half circles and all sorts of, so you got like a smaller circle, a big circle, and it's got these nice markings at like the
So where you can stop and start.
yeah." And they have a YouTube channel and they show you how to use each of these rulers as well, which I thought was really, really handy because he said, go watch the YouTube channel because I told him I was coming back the next day anyway. He said, go home, watch the videos, and you can see how each of these work. And that was immensely helpful, being able to see them actually being used. But what I did with that one, the snowman, was this.
Oh, I like that.
And so basically what I did is I did the half circle, along, and then went down the next row on that. So yeah, I'm glad I talked to him because at first I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I don't, I can use it for like 2 months a year. But
Yeah.
actually it's a really, really cool circle ruler. And I plan on using that a lot more in the future. I do have this one, which has different size circles, but you go on the inside, and it's kind of nice going on the outside of that one there. So it's good having both of them, but I think I would lean more towards the snowman one.
Yeah, I think I like the outside. I would be afraid that I'd get in there and hit something or
Yeah. So I mean, again, you do you, but I do like having that circle one. And then if anyone's curious, it's a company called Quiltoff. They're based in Roanoke, Virginia. And they have a website, and you can purchase your rulers there. And I think they have free shipping if it's over like $40 or something, fairly reasonable. So you can go buy some, go buy a couple of rulers, but just make sure you get some non-stick stuff for the back because it's going to make your life so much easier.
yeah, they have some spray stuff you could put on them too.
Yeah, I've heard that, but I'm not a big fan of spray.
Yeah. Now, which one did you use to put those ribbons on?
I use this one.
Oh, okay. Because look at mine. They did not turn out.
That's okay.
They look like little tombstones.
You get it comes with practice too. Like I actually did some ribbons actually freehand on a long arm machine at the quilt show at the
Oh, how cool.
what was the name of the gamble machine. And so I've actually done them freehand on a long arm, which that's a whole new experience. And they actually turned out fairly nice, which I was very surprised about. All right, good morning. Stacey Lee is in the house. It is good to see you. She was on the channel with me a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, she is a lot of fun. I love her channel for bits. She has the most wonderful tutorials, and she's just wonderful with her audience. So if you haven't checked her out, definitely go over and do that as well. And she is also doing her quilt drive right now, where she is collecting quilts for foster children. It is called Stumbled and Hope. Oh, I've had a blank. Comfort cases. I knew it'd come to me eventually. And so I do have my quilt that I want to donate, and I still have to run out to the store. That's the only problem, is my quilt shop is not close to me. It's actually right here with me.
I have one down the street that I have to check out because before it was all Civil War stuff, and I'm not into that. I mean, they're beautiful quilts, but I like color.
Oh, me too.
But a new owner took over, so I'm gonna have to try it out and see.
Nice. That'd be good. Yeah, so this is the quilt that I plan on donating. It actually is like the exact right. It's a beautiful quilt. It came together so quickly. I made it last year, and it's like the exact right size that they need for that. So I think we need to get the quilted and donated and shipped out in the next week or two. Yes, Heather says I need to start writing these things down. Oh, absolutely. If I don't write it down, yeah, I'm not in good shape. So that's an excellent suggestion. Every time I do my podcast, that's the first thing I do is I sit down and spend about 20 or 30 minutes writing everything that I'm going to talk about down, just for that reason alone. So yes, You're so right about that. Laura says that she loves color as well. Oh, Becca is in the house. Good morning. It's good to see you. So happy that you could join us. I wasn't able to make her live last night, unfortunately, because I had to go collect my wife from the train station. Her and her students went up to Boston for the week.
Oh, how exciting.
Oh, yeah, they had a blast. And I'm just a wee bit jealous because they got to go to a Red Sox game on Thursday night. And had I known they were going to Fenway and going to see a baseball game there, I would have gone along on the trip.
Yeah, I haven't been to a game in a while. I used to always go with my grandpa and or not my grandmother, my mom.
Oh,
It was
nice. Which one did you go to?
Cleveland. Well, it's not the Indians anymore. It's the
Yeah.
Guardians or Guards. I don't know. They changed their name, but we used to go there.
Right.
And when I lived in upstate New York, we went to New York City and saw, I don't know if it was the Giants or the other one, because there used to be two teams. There's only one now.
There's still two. There's the Mets that's out there in Queens, out by the airport, LaGuardia.
Oh, okay.
And then the Yankees.
Yeah.
I
What
was
did
going to say,
Giants?
well, the
That's
Giants
football.
they used to be in New York, but that was like back in the late 50s that they moved out to San Francisco.
Oh, okay. See, you can tell it's been a long time since I've watched a game.
I was like, okay, if you went to see the Giants, I mean, that was like 70 years ago.
I only ever went to one out there, but I used to go on Sundays, to the sports bar and stuff, but I guess I should have paid attention more and drank less beer. Oh dear.
We have more. Becca, we have Tiffany. Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining me. This is absolutely wonderful. It is like 6 a.m. out there. Is it 6 or 7? Out where she is. So, I mean, I am super impressed that we have Tiffany here with us. So thank you so much for joining us. It's always good to see all my content creator friends come over and say hi and all that sort of thing here, especially the folks out there on the West, because it's really, really early. It's early for us on the East Coast, but especially for everybody out there on the West Coast. So thank you so much for joining me, Tiffany. You've just made my day. Good morning, Carrie. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody. I just love everybody that hops in and says hi. So, all right, I'm just going to pull this off and show you what I got up to. For anyone coming in late, we're just doing some ruler work, some free motion practice, because Monica and I are both beginners in this regards, but you have to start somewhere. And so this part here is what I just worked on. And I still have to get the placement right, but other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, so it's 6 a.m. Okay, so you are 3 hours behind. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't certain. Because there's some areas out there that have daylight savings and some don't. And I can never keep track of who's doing what. So yeah, that's what I've been up to so far. So what is everybody else working on today? Are we also doing free motion quilting? Good morning, Branka Beslik Tarini. And I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. I'm giving it my best shot. Mary G says it looks good. Well, thank you for that. All right. So got that. And how are you doing of yours there, Monica, with your stuff?
Well, I finished the one. Right now I'm just practicing straight lines with my little ruler here.
Excellent, excellent. All right.
Yeah, I just made this thing and just kind of went all over the place.
Hey, and that's how you get better. Like, it's just like piecing or anything else. Like, you're not going to start off perfect. Now, maybe Tucker, I think he was born, a star quilter, but besides him, yeah, but even he was a beginner once.
But I'm not using my ruler foot. I'm cheating and using my Echo foot.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. like there are ways that we're taught to do things, but sometimes, I think if you branch out and do what works for you, it works just as well. And there is no quilt police unless you enter into a show and then like this kind of quilt police. But
Yeah, I'll never enter a show, I don't think. Well, I'll never say never, but I don't have any plans in the future.
and with that, like if you feel led to do it, like give it a go. Like if you're on the fence, I say jump off the fence and try. I know Becca did recently. Now I've messed this up. That's all right. No, we're not pulling out who shall not be named. I just told him he's having a vacation this morning.
Oh, I had mine out when I first started because I had my tension off.
Yeah, well, that makes a difference.
And then I gave up and just grabbed a new piece.
There you go. All right, so let's talk about your favorite part of the quilting process. What would you say that would be?
Just sewing them together. I like sewing scraps together any old which way. That's
So more
fun.
like the piecing part of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've just started enjoying the actual quilting part. My least favorite is squaring up because I'm terrible at it. And usually when I have to cut, I do it one day and then sew another day because I can't stand that long.
Right.
But this is fun going. I'm doing triangles now. So
Nice. Becca says to you that never say never. Say that, where was it? Where'd it go? Never say never. Just say I don't have plans to, because I seem to remember Becca saying that she would never had plans to enter a quilt show. And I was super proud of her the other, quite recently, where she entered a quilt into her local quilt guild show as well. Like, I don't know that I've told her this, but yeah, I am super proud of her for having the courage to do that. So yeah, I think that's wonderful advice. Always saying, I don't have plans to, because you never know what you got to think in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, that sort of thing there as well. I mean, Tiffany's done extremely well on her quilt show things. She's entered some quilts and won some really, really neat prizes with that.
hers is a beast. She's a beast quilter.
She does such a wonderful, yeah, she has a wonderful talent for quilting, so I'm very, very happy for her. I'm very proud of her for what she's been able to achieve. I mean, if I get another white ribbon in my dog quilt this year, I'll be happy. If I don't get a ribbon, I'll be happy. I just put my best work out there, and if it works, great. And if not, it just wasn't meant to be. Never is absolute, plans can change. Yes, very true. I love that, Becca. Excellent. Okay, Christine says, good morning, Sean, everyone. Lurking while I work on my first legit pattern, Lucy Lou. Perfect. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I haven't started mine yet. I think in all reality, I think Toasty is going to go on the back burner for a little while. I just have other projects I want to do first. So Toasty's probably going to take a little nap for a while, but I will get there eventually.
Toasty, what is that?
He's my dragon.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Well, I'm still undecided as to which color I'm going to do it. So we will see. Pam says Tiffany should change her name to Speedy Gonzalez Quilter. I can't keep up most of the time. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, she is just super quick. Like, but it's okay if you're not. Like, I know some people are slower than others. I've gotten faster than when I started. So if you are slow, don't let that get you down. Like, go at your own speed. Heather says, eventually you'll do that thing you said you'll never do. Somebody might goad you into it. Absolutely. Yeah, we are all wonderful. We're all wonderful encouragers, and we do tend to encourage everybody to do stuff that they say they would never do. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever do FPP, and Beth badgered me a lot until I finally got to do it. And I still prefer traditional piecing, but I'm glad that I know how to do foundation paper piecing, because there are some projects out there that I would like to do at some point in the future, and now have the confidence that I can do it, even though it's going to take me, a very long time. So yeah, never say never. Just say, I don't have plans to at this point. I think that's wonderful advice from Becca.
That's what I'll say from now on.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to say that too. I think that's very, very, very good advice. So thank you for that, Becca. I really appreciate that. Because for a long time, I said I wasn't going to do free motion quilting. I figured I was quite happy to stay in my lane, doing my stitch in the ditch, that sort of thing there. Heather says encourage and able. Absolutely. My friend Christine, who is here all the time, she is a wonderful enabler and encourager for me. She's the one that told me about the Mythical Darksons quilt and that sort of thing there. I love hearing suggestions. So if you ever have any, please let me know about them. I might not be able to do them all. Well, okay, I won't be able to do them all because I just don't have that sort of time, unfortunately. I have this thing called a full-time job that kind of gets in the way. But, I do what I can. All right, Laura says that I never thought I'd be sewing full stop, as it's been an awful teacher at school, but here I am hand sewing. Excellent. Yeah, and Laura's done a wonderful job of her stuff. She's does a wonderful job of her hand sewing, and she's also trying to learn how to machine sew. So I'm very proud of what she's done so far of her stuff. Brenda says, my hubby is home every day. He is knocking a lot of quilts out once he relaxed without fear. Yeah, and getting over that fear is hard. But just remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Looks like Nancy is here. Guess who, Nancy? Good morning. Thank you for hopping in. Actually, we'll need to say goodbye to everybody fairly shortly because I have another engagement at 10. I need to get prepared for that. So we'll finish this little section, which will only take me a minute or two, and then we'll wrap things up and say goodbye. I didn't realize it was 9:30 already. The older celebrities came in and
the time went right by. I'll show you what I did with my Charlie Brown quilting.
Okay.
I did like the bottom of his shirt.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. I love how you call it Charlie Brown quilt. That's fun. All right, so
stitches, but not too bad.
Pam says I got starstruck. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, Becca's always been a superstar to me. So is Tiffany, and it's really, really fun to have him here hanging out with us for a while. Did Dana, Dana Tigersaurus has hopped in. I haven't seen her in a while. Excellent. Hello, everyone. I can't actually believe I'm catching you live. It's the first time ever, I guess. Yes, I see you comment on my videos, which I always love hearing from you because she, like myself, are huge fans of Darksons. They're definitely my favorite breed. So yeah, we love talking about that. But yeah, I don't think I've actually had her caught up. Actually she hasn't seen me in a lot. I can't talk today. And I have a 45-minute presentation in an hour. So help me. So that's what I did there. I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah. It needs to be refined a little bit, but that will come with time. So not an issue at all. Okay, Brenda says she has to hop off. She's off to Derby Day. It's the Kentucky Derby. So that'll be a lot of fun. So have fun with that. Okay, I actually have Heather says actually have a horrible, awesome idea for a Charlie Brown quilt. Okay, yes, we'll have to go check out Heather's channel once she figures it out and tells us all about it. So Dana says good afternoon for me here in Europe. It's afternoon. So yeah, we say good morning, but yeah, we do have some folks in the evening in Australia and afternoon in the UK as well. So we try to be mindful of that, but sometimes we forget. We just get in our own little world. So I guess you, Nancy, says you're all stars to me. Well, thank you so much for that. Um, Brenda says, love, love, Sean. I'm assuming she's talking about the quilting. So there we go. Okay, Heather's not quite ready. She has to find a base pattern again. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for Heather's stuff there as well. So with that, did you want to tell us real quick what you have coming up again for anyone that hopped in late on your channel?
Just a table runner sew along next week. And I'll also be quilting as you go my Ohio Star quilt.
Yeah, so definitely head over and check out Monica's channel. It is Mona Did What. And if you haven't done so already, please do so. And like we talked about a little earlier today, she is about 40 subscribers away from 1,000, which is a huge milestone for any content creator. You know, your first 100 is tough, your second 100 is tough, your first 500 is a challenge. But that 1,000, it always just seems like to everybody, that is always like the golden milestone for us to hit. So she's so close. I remember when I was at, we were talking about this earlier, but when I was at 960, I mean, it was the toughest couple of weeks of my life because I was like, I am this close. Like it's easier being at 700 than it is 960. So definitely head over, check it out. And if you like it, please consider subscribing to her channel. She does a lot of wonderful lives, usually during the day. So during the weeks, I think, is that right?
Yeah, usually on Friday. I was doing every Saturday, but I started Friday to make myself finish certain projects.
Yeah.
So
So definitely hit that notification bell too if you enjoy her channel. So that way, when she does go live, you can go hang out. And she's so bubbly, so energetic, and that sort of thing. There, I think, it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely go check that out as well. And yeah, if you help her get that little bit closer to the 1,000, she will love you forever. So I will have my not my live, I'm not going live tomorrow. I'll have my podcast tomorrow, and I have a bunch of stuff to show everybody. I'm super excited. I actually had a really good sewing week. So do not miss that. It'll be a lot of fun. Go check out all my friends. There'll be a lot of people going live. I think we'll have Mom and Pop should be on later this afternoon, I think. Always go support them. They're a wonderful. I haven't seen them on my channel in a while, but it's always fun when she pops in because that's another superstar to me. And then, yeah, everybody else. I know Tiffany will go live tomorrow afternoon and that sort of thing there. So I better run away. Otherwise, I'll be late for my next appointment. But thank you so much for everybody joining me today. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me today, Monica. It was fun doing ruler work.
thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. It was a lot of fun, and we'll have to have you back on the channel fairly soon again. So you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Hang on a second. We will finish in a second, I promise.